Hey, thank you for joining us on the Pursuit to Win. My name is John Irwin.
I'm Parker.
And in this edition of Pursuit to Win, we're going to be discussing the brand new book that Grant Cardone launched for kids.
10X Kids.
And so, Parker, I just want to ask you, you being a kid yourself at 13, what does 10X mean to you?
You gotta multiply your life by 10. For an example, if somebody tells you to make $1,000, make 10,000.
All right, so set higher goals, bigger goals.
Yes.
And so far, Parker's been reading the 10X book, and what we plan on doing in these episodes is discussing with you the 10X book and what Parker's learned from it. Parker, tell us a little bit about your experience with 10X.
Well, as you may know, I went to a 10X boot camp. After that, I went on stage 3 days in, and I raised $1,800, was it?
Mm-hmm.
$1,800, and I got the opportunity to invest it with Grant Cardone, and so I chose to do that. And on December 31st, I will have, was it $3,200 in the bank?
Yeah. Yeah, so on stage, and if you watch, you'll see the video on YouTube and it was on every platform on social media. Parker went on stage and asked Grant, actually, what was the question you asked Grant?
What can I do, or trying to remember, this was a while ago.
It's all right.
What advice would you have to give to a young person like me, and what can I start doing now to achieve that?
And that's actually, this is Parker on stage with Grant. So he asked him that question, and what advice did he have for you?
He said, well, I'm doing it by just being there in general,
Yep.
and I got to leverage my age.
Yep. And you're definitely leveraging your age. So from that experience, Parker crowdfunded $1,800 on stage. He told Grant his idea. He wanted to start his own business. Parker's been learning how to repair phones. Bought all the tools himself with his own money. Has been watching videos, learning how to fix them. So on that stage, Grant told him, go to everyone and say, I know your phone's not broken now, but give me $100 and I'll fix your phone. And he ended up crowdfunding $1,800 on that stage. And then Grant gave him a big decision. He could take the money now, or he said, if you show me at the end of the year and you don't spend it, I'll double it. And he's like, what can you do to protect this money? And so what did you decide to do?
Invested in Grant.
So yeah, he invested with Grant. So at the end of the year, it'll be $3,200. He then gave Parker a goal. And what was that goal? How much money?
$10,000.
And when did you have to do that by?
December 31st.
So Parker had to raise $10,000 by the end of the year. And from leaving that stage, having to raise 10 grand, what has happened from then till now?
Well, a guy that we saw on Instagram made a new version of the video and said that he would help me with my business and that I could join on in his business and repair phones with him. So that's what we're going to start doing.
And so since Parker left the stage, Tim from Techie did what do they call it with the reel? Is it a remix?
Yeah, remix.
So he remixed the reel and said he wanted to help him out. From there, we jumped on a webinar. And throughout this whole process, Parker's been involved in everything from the negotiations to the paperwork to reaching out to the lawyers, finding the properties, and then raising the money. So Parker is almost there. I think, what's their total right now?
For
what total between what Techie's invested, what you've raised, what you've got investors to?
Oh, I think it's like $80-something thousand.
Yeah, 80.
It's like 87.9.
89.
89.
Pretty close.
Maybe it's 89.7.
Yeah. So I've been keeping track of this.
He's on our way to 10x Grant's $10,000 goal.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to 10x Grant's 10K goal. So he's at $89,980. The goal is he would like to raise will raise a total of $100,000. By doing that, we'll be able to launch his own store. And so the exciting things that's happened since Parker left the stage, we did all the calls with Tim. Tim said, Parker, I'm going to help get you going. We looked at locations. We found the perfect location to put the store.
Tim.
Oh, yep, that's Tim right there. I don't know if you can see behind me. Tim from Techie. He did the remix on this reel. So we found a location. We're heading back down to Florida in January. We're going to be down there for a few weeks training with them. And then after that, they're going to actually be working on the build out of Parker's store, send their people up here to help him launch. And away he's going to go in 2022 with his own store and having 10x Grant's goal of raising $10,000. So that's a little background about Parker. And so we figured with everything that's happened with this whole experience, what it's done for, for Parker, even myself, I mean, our business has done tremendous, with all this information and this great community. My wife then started her own business, and everything is just 10x. I mean, since we started doing all this, and now Parker, even at 13, is applying this information. And so we want to help spread the word to kids and let them know, even it doesn't matter your age, you can start young in achieving your goals, and it doesn't matter where you're starting out at. So this book, 10x Kids, we're going to read this each week, and we're going to go over what Parker's learned from it, and that way to help inspire you. And maybe you'll take something from this and you'll want to buy this book and start applying this to your life. Because like Parker just shown, you don't have to come from money. You don't have to be 30, 40 years old. You could be 13 years old. And if you just show up and you be confident in yourself, you can achieve anything. So anything else you'd like to add, Parker?
No, not really.
All right. Well, so real quick, I just want to touch on the 10X Kids book. We just read the beginning of it. We're going to go through each chapter with it each week. What do you think about the beginning so far, the welcome part?
I think it was pretty good. It had some pretty good advice on what to do when making money. Like if you have a goal, achieve higher than the goal. Like for an example, in the book, it said when you want to join the soccer team, try to be the captain.
So shoot higher than what you want to achieve.
Yeah, 10x.
Well, why do you think Grant says to shoot higher than what you want to achieve?
So that way you can be ahead in life.
But what do you think? What do you think if you just made the goal your goal? What would happen? Do you think you
wouldn't have like spare money and?
But I mean, say your goal is to make $1,000 and you set that as the goal. Do you think you're gonna reach it or exceed it?
You could exceed it.
You could. One thing I will say, so the reason Grant says to 10x is because a lot of times to make things happen, it's going to take 10 times the amount of effort to achieve what you're looking to achieve. So when you shoot for that 10x goal, you don't land short of the goal. Say your goal was $1,000. A lot of people might only raise $700, or they'd land at $1,000. But when you make a big goal, when you say, you know what, I know my goal is $1,000, but I'm going to shoot for $10,000, you push yourself to do things that you probably would never have even imagined you could do. And so that's why behind the whole 10x thing is shooting for those higher goals to achieve more and push yourself to a level that you're capable of. You just don't know it yet. So, any other takeaways you got from the book?
Just 10x.
Just 10x.
10x.
All right. So that was just the welcome part. Next week, join us as we're going to talk about the next chapter, Think Big. So thank you for joining us on Pursuit to Win and covering 10X Kids, the new book written by Grant Cardone to help inspire all of you of any age. Thank you for joining. I'm John Irwin.
I'm Parker. We're signing off.
Signing off. We'll see you next time.